But yeah, that was Axe kind of opinions and talks about the future of streaming, and I happen to agree pretty wholeheartedly with them. And that's not something that happens very often, but like when it comes to the industry and like the music scene and like money, and like I do think he has good opinions and thoughts and insight, and like he's not wrong. Like there is a huge fight on the horizon here between artists, labels, and these streaming platforms, and nobody is going to win. And the one who's really going to lose out the most are these smaller artists who are just trying to make a living. And streaming's fucked, and that's why I do not pay for any of them. All right, keeping kind of with this same streaming music conversation, Academics also had a kind of response to Ice Spice and her new album that just came out and only did what, 20K first week, and it's not looking good. So let's check this one out.
If you want to learn how
the song gonna go gold or platinum, right? But then when you see a full, like, you know what I mean, they don't get to work this gimmick out, because I still don't get this gimmick with her and Travis Scott. Travis Scott's hot, but this is not even Travis Scott's lane. So there's a,
oh shit, she turned off the spot.
Like, it would be good if there was a gimmick with this, like, you know what I mean? Again, and maybe,
I mean, she is the gimmick. Ice Spice literally is the gimmick. She is the definition of a plant. Like, we all know she does not make her own music, does not write her own music, and like somebody saw her look, somebody saw her and saw potential for a star, especially in this current wave and generation of like female rappers, and it worked out. Like, but she was never an artist. I think she even admitted that early on. Like, she does not make music. She's not truly an artist. She is a product. She is selling you a product, and once that product has already been consumed to like its max, which honestly is pretty much here, there's nothing left to it. Like, she puts out the same music over and over and over again. Same sound, same delivery, same style. Production sounds eerily the same. And like, she does not have a change up. She does not have other pitches to throw. Like, she literally has one lane, and like, people get tired of it. Like, music is a very fast changing and fast moving industry, and like, if you can only do one thing, if you're only a one-trick pony, you're only gonna last for so long. So I'm not really surprised to see her kind of struggling.
maybe I'm saying, like, most of these artists are kind of gimmicky. You know, like, there's a gimmick with it. And even though I love, you know, I rock with Sexy Red and like everything she got going on.
Gimmick too.
But she drops music on a gimmicky way. Oh, whose baby is this?
And you know how much of a gimmick I know she is? She did the tried and true playbook, which somebody in her team, somebody in her label definitely put together. Is she's putting out her own lipstick, lip gloss or whatever, and like, it's even called Booty Hole Brown. If that's not what a gimmick artist is, then I don't know what is. Like, she's literally a gimmick as well. Like, half these artists coming out, especially in hip-hop, are just gimmicks. And that's why you don't see numbers going as crazy as they used to be, because regardless of how you feel about listeners and even the buzz that they get just from like social media, they're not that dumb, bro. Like, and they could kind of look through a gimmick and not see anything genuine or authentic behind it. And like, that can only go so far. You can only eat sweets, garbage, fast food so much before you get tired of it.
Then she's like, fuck my baby daddy. Then she does the whole thing with Chief Keef and then drop a song. She and Aiden, then it's Get It Sexy. She does the whole thing, put Drake's in it. Like, you know what I mean? There's some gimmicks before these songs, but what it tells you is that they're selling a song. They're not selling a body of work, right? Like, there's few female artists. Let me not make it a female artist thing. It's a few artists in general that you're expecting a body of work from them, right? And I think at some point, the bigger you get, we expect a body of work. Like, for example, say
Cardi B.
There's few exceptions, like a Doja Cat. She's very eclectic.
She's an artist. That I'll never put Doja Cat in that gimmicky route. Yes, she does some gimmicky PR stuff, but that's kind of required from all artists. And like, she does her thing to get her publicity out there. But when you cut away all the bullshit, all the antics, everything else, and you look at the music and the artistry, like, you cannot compare Doja Cat to a Ice Spice or a Sexy Red or even Cardi B. Like, they're on just different levels.
I do think she gets a body of work. The Ice Spices, the JTs, the Sexy Reds.
Red.
I don't think. I think it's better off when they just give us singles because they give us the best of what would be on an album, rather than these artists. They're not giving us substance; they're just giving us fillers for an album. So you might as well just have them give you the single because the single is going to be the hottest ones out of the bunch. So for artists like these, I hope they just abolish this feeling like they have to give.
I kind of been saying this for a long time. It's like, there's just certain artists that do not need to make albums or projects or mixtapes or anything. Like, if all they ever did is just put out singles, they'd be fine. Like, I don't need a body of work from you. Like, you are good for a hot single, a hot moment, and that's it. I'm not looking for a full body of work from you, because when I hear album or I hear full body work, I expect to hear a story or a concept or like at least a buildup of things that like really showcase all the different elements of who you are as an artist. But if all you are as an artist is like literally one thing, I don't need that one thing over and over and over again in terms of an album. You can just give it to me piecemeal. Every couple months pop out and put something up. Like OT Genesis. I don't hear nobody saying like where the album at, like, because he does what he does. He pops up every couple years, puts out a single and goes away. Tiger. Like, at one point he was putting out albums, but like nowadays, pop up, put out a couple singles, go away. Go hit some club runs. That's it. Like, that's fine. Like, there's a lane for artists like that. Like, this whole archaic structure of contracts and label contracts where like I'm signing you to a 2-album, 3-album deal is honestly not applicable to 90% of the artists out there these days. And quite honestly, that's a topic of conversation that definitely needs to be had. Where, what do we do with these contracts? What if you are only a single artist? What type of contract should you get? I sign you 10 singles, 2 years, 3 year. Like, what are we doing? Like, because this album structure, especially if you know I only do singles, or like I don't make my own music, or I'm not really an artist, why would you ever sign an album contract? Because that's just locking you into something that's not going to be good for your career.
An album, or at least a label, doesn't rewrite these deals, because when Ice Spice sells 20K, it breaks the brainwashing of the fan that she's so hot.
Facts. Literally what I just said. Like, you doing these album contracts are horrible for your career, because your whole image is that you are the hottest thing out there, that you are what's buzzing, that you're what's popping. That's like, that's what everybody's trying to listen to right now. Like, you are the it girl right now. Like, so if you are like this hot buzzing it girl, like, we expect your first project, your first whatever, to do crazy numbers. That's something I actually give Cardi B credit for, because she was kind of in this exact same position. But when she did put out her one and only body of work, Invasion of Privacy, like, it did numbers. It did well. So like, that only solidified her status in the game even more. But like, when you come out and like you the hottest, or they say you like the hottest girl out, or like you're doing all these things, like they're really pushing you to kind of be the face of the wave at the moment, and then you actually put out a project and it does like 20K, it's like, oh, the emperor literally has no clothes.
Because what labels are really good at doing is creating brainwashing to fans to say this is the hot thing, and if you're not tuned
Industry plants
in, it's FOMO. And whether they started by fake numbers or fake stories or fake relationship, eventually you buy in. And that's what I always tell you. Like, remember I was talking about the botting situation? The botting situation don't mean, if somebody botted some views, it don't mean that 3 months later is going to be 90% botted. It's probably going to be 5% botted. The botted shit is just to get you brainwashed. Yo, this is hot. You're missing out if you ain't listening to it.
I just need to get you in the door And once I got you in the door, like you can say like I listened or like I checked it out. Like that's all they're trying to do is get you in the door. So this whole facade they're building is literally just to get you like peeking in, like looking through, like, am I interested? Is there actually something there? Like, you know what I mean? But like when you go behind the scenes, like kind of like the whole no credit thing, like when they take you on tour, like take you to a supermarket or whatever, like on the front, everything looks well stocked, up to date, food everywhere. But if you look like behind that shelf, ain't shit there.
So you know what you do? If everybody listen, let me go listen. You go listen, you might like it, or maybe you don't even really like it, but it's kind of like FOMO. So you're not playing it more and more. You're like, all right, fuck it, shit. If this what everybody listen to, maybe I'm missing something why it ain't hot. So you keep playing it. Now you like it. So now they keep doing less and less bots, and
if you think these labels are not paying these clubs to play this music as much as they can, you are crazy.
Over a while, they've converted or brainwashed a bunch of people. Here's my thing. I think Ice Spice has done that. Like, bruv, even though I've said that, she's a lyrical genius with some of the shit.
Nah, you gotta be playing, bro. Ain't no way he called Ice Spice a lyrical genius.
Bro, she broke out the gate with Munch. A fast rapping, kind of offbeat, watered down, very simplistic song. Like, there's no reason why Ice Spice needs to drop an album. She should be dropping singles, collabs. You know what I would have done? I would try to get her with Sexy Red and drop not an album, a 4-pack. A 4-pack of Twerkwind. Okay? That's how we would have done it. Let's just mix down a bunch of songs, something that's really an EP, 4 songs, and we're going to work all 4 of those songs as singles. So, again, I don't think her label did her any favors here. But it then makes me wonder, is Ice Spice number about to be called? Is Ice Spice done? Let me explain why.
She's not done, but she's definitely on the way out. Like, she ain't done, but she got one foot out the door, and like, it ain't gonna take too much more to get her out of here. And she's just going to straight up turn into a social media celebrity, social media influencer. Like, she's one step away from just fully embracing that role. And like, that's a lot of artists these days. It's like, they are more social media influencer than they are musician. And like, she is kind of the poster child for that at this moment.
Anytime you start thinking about the music industry, there's bigger things at play. And for some of y'all Nicki Minaj fans, this is where you come into, I'm a professor. Professor Academius is actually lecturing right now. You're going to take a seat. I know you want to relate everything to Nicki Minaj, but take a seat and put that cone on your head because you're stupid as fuck. I'm going to break down what's going on in the game right now. And I'm going to tell you why I have a theory about Ice Spice and why she might be in trouble. She better heed my warning or people close to her. Listen to my theory. Ice Spice first came in the game and was distributed on her first song called Munch through WorldStar. Okay, this is music talk. And if you don't have music knowledge, if you watch my stream over time, you probably got a little music knowledge or maybe come from the music industry. If it's too late to give you a crash course, so you're going to have to either get what I'm saying or not get what I'm saying. So she came in the game independently. She dropped through Create. No, she dropped through WorldStar. Then she dropped through Create. She was an independent artist who caught fire. She signed a bigger deal, multi-million-dollar deal through a label that also houses Trippie Redd, that also houses Tekashi 6ix9ine, and was owned or is owned by the son of the biggest and most powerful person in the game named Lucian Grange. Some of these names might go over your head if you're not keeping up with the music business, but I'm giving you a music business game now. Cool. Doing great. She was doing amazing about a year ago, and even afterwards, with the 1 single per month method. Everything is going crazy. They're getting on the right features, blah, blah. Now, some of the things by her own doing hasn't helped her. Falling out with Nicki. A few other things that I won't mention. Her best friend keep exposing her. Well, but still is Ice Spice. Very pretty girl. They're marketing her of sexuality. That's working. And even though she's not the best songwriter and the songs aren't the most prolific, they are working for the short period of time. And her songs had a burnout period of about 2 to 3 months. So as long as she kept replenishing, her buzz seemed like it was continuing to grow. Okay? Also, she fits the bill. Pretty, young, attractive, doesn't say much. We don't know her opinions about nothing. We don't even like what she likes for breakfast.
As fucked up as it sounds, like, it's honestly true. Like, that is kind of also a key to her success, is that we really don't know shit about her. Like, we have not heard her giving an opinion much or voicing anything really like that could harm her or her image, because that is a quick downfall for a lot of like newer artists and influencers and, you know, celebs, is that they get a little too comfortable and then the real them comes out and people actually hate them. So like, we actually have not really seen the real her. So like, you can't really have an opinion on her outside of the music. It's kind of smart.
All we know is this is a girl who's sexualized, who, yeah, cool. What happened though, and this is a little bit of music game right here. So the label she was signed to is 10K Projects. 10K Project. By the way, I'm saying this, and if you don't know, I keep telling you, I have a label deal over there. Okay, so I got a label. This is Tekashi's label and Trippie Redd's label. 10K Projects.
These are Vessies. They also make these fantastic waterproof shoes.
In September, 10K Projects leaves Capitol. They had a JV distribution deal through Capitol. Okay, I think before it was called Caroline, then it was called Island something, and they left that deal, and then they went through Warner Music Group. Now, I'm giving you a real crash course, and you need to keep up. As I said, I'll give more explanation probably another time, but it would take me so long to just explain how the music industry works. Cool. Here's a few things you need to know. And I am giving you a little bit of a tutorial too. So the guy who runs the music industry, the biggest boss, the real biggest boss, his name is Lucien Grange.
Yeah,
he has a son, and it's usually the number nepotism, musical chairs. That's pretty much the subsidiary.
All right, that's enough. I mean, we basically talked about it. Like what I wanted to cover here, anyways, is Ice Spice, and kind of just this whole rise of, I would say, I don't know if I have a word from him, but honestly, like, just straight up industry plans, straight up like people that are picked or chosen or pushed strictly for like social media appearance and influence and reach, as opposed to actually music acumen. And like, she is kind of the poster child for it at this moment among hip hop, unfortunately. But like, I'm not really that surprised to see her numbers being as bad as they are, because nobody needs to hear a full album of Ice Spice. Like, I don't care if you are the biggest fan ever. I feel like even you would agree with that. It's like we were fine with you just dropping a single and going away for a little bit and then dropping another single and going away. Like, a full project is not what people want from these artists these days, and like, quite honestly, not something that they can deliver. And I think that is part of a much larger conversation in terms of like artists and labels and contracts. And like, if this is kind of the route that 80 to 90% of these like newer artists are going to be going into labels and what they're going to be pushing, there is no reason for them to be signing 2 album, 3 album deals anymore. Like, that kind of model is almost dead amongst hip hop.